They start acting nasty, I'm thinking to myself, I know exactly how you're feeling. Hi, I'm Stephanie, and today I'm hanging out with In Touch. Here's the deal with Sharp Entertainment. They hire all of their people that work out in the field, audio, video, security, everything. They're all independent contractors. So it's a little bit of, when it comes to the producers, who are also independent contractors, it's everybody's always trying to outdo one another. So it's not like I'm given one producer, I'm given several. So my first one, he would be like, okay, now say this and be really sad about it. And then the same exact situation, he goes, now say it and be happy. And so he wanted several different ways of it being said. He says, because then, the editors and the executives, they have plenty to pick from. And so it got to be, I then, after then working with 2 or 3 other producers along the way, I got to know the game. It's like, aha, they're all trying to outdo one another. See, because if, producer A brings 15 hours a day of several different scenes to choose from, and producer B only brings 12, well, who do you think they're going to hire? Again, they're all independent contractors. So they're all trying to outdo one another. So I learned the game very quickly. I think going into it, I think the executive producer, Dave Bresnahan, writes everything out, because then the producers then that come, to your home and whatnot, then they say, okay, for example, they're like, oh my gosh, they want you to be speeding down the road again in your car. My gosh, we filmed that 8 times already, but they want more of that. So David Bresnahan says what he wants and what I am to say. And, and now it's such and such a time, we have his mother, Dorla, lined up. And then you are going to say you've been contacting her many, many times. And, you finally reach out because you're desperate to know where he is, even though I knew he was working at La Belisa, and Justin was working him hard. Believe me, I said, put him to work and put him to work hard. Don't let him, lollygag around. Make him work. And he did. He made him work 12-hour days. So they come in with a story, but then as things evolve and they see a little something here or there, I think additions get added. I think a lot of additions got added once I went public with my problems with Sharp Entertainment. Well, they have you repeat things over and over and over again. I mean, to the point where you're sick of it, and you can see why people, not only myself, but if you think of other people, when they start looking like worn out and they start acting nasty, I'm thinking to myself, I know exactly how you're feeling. Because there comes a point, like, how many takes do you really, really need? How many times are we going to go over this? And they, again, it even when, for example, they had a scene that they ended up cutting out of the show, but they played as the 15-minute increment, like on the Saturdays before, of my brother, myself, and my attorney. And my brother was hired Ed, my attorney, because he demanded I have a prenuptial agreement. Well, believe me, there was a prenuptial agreement in place from the day I applied for a K-1 visa. I'm not stupid, but they wanted to make it look like, oh, it was my brother that was, forcing me to do this, and you're not getting on that plane, and all of that. Also, all of that was, of course, baloney. But again, pretty much it would be easier to talk about the things that were real as opposed to the things that were contrived, honestly. Well, I mean, one thing that I was completely shocked by is they said now when it was probably I think it was the first day of filming. Actually, you have to have something called an interview dress. That's the dress, and so mine would happen to be the yellow one. That they always go back to, where I'm kind of reiterating what's about to happen, what just happened, and they said go, put on an outfit, and then we have to take a lot of pictures of you, and then it gets sent to several higher ups. And so I put on a dress, and we wait, and I'm talking, you don't wait 5 minutes because it has to be sent, to several levels. I mean, you wait sometimes 45 minutes. And it came back to the producer, Mike. Nope. They love the color on you. More boob. They need more boob. And I'm like, in this day and age, aren't we filming TLC here? That was bizarre. So I went and put on another dress, and same thing. Wait, goes up the chain of command, comes back, no more boob. And then I finally said, you know what, Mike, go to my closet. I don't dress with those, dresses that are plunging necklines. Have at it. Here's my closets, have at it. You pick the dress. And the best they could find, which wasn't much, if you recall, but that's the best that they could do because they needed more boob. The other, I became friends with a lot of the crew, and they could tell I was upset by that, being sexualized on a 90-day fiance show. And one of them took me aside and said, well, Stephanie, you won't have to worry about the tell-all. At the tell-all, what they used to have all women do is sit, they had to wear very low cut things. And then they had to sit with their knees propped on these like lounge chairs. So everything, and then like lean forward, and then you couldn't see it, they said, on there, but then everything then plunges forward. And he goes, I just want you to know, I know you're upset right now, but you won't have to deal with that at the tell-all. They've changed that rule. So again, I'm just speculating right now, but I have a feeling others had complained, because obviously I get it. They want a different demographic. They want more men, and that type of look sells. But they had already known at that time that the tell-all, which wasn't going to take place for months, that, don't worry, they're not going to make you sit propped like they have made people in the past. So your busts are what's the most prevalent in the on the screen. I talked to a few others, and I, of course, it's not my story to tell, so I would never name names, but I have talked to one individual that we became close, and she called me bawling, saying, none of the words on that first episode were my words. They were all the producer's words. And it wasn't pretty, the backlash that she got, because she was told to say some very derogatory things about certain things, and to act like a bitch. And that wasn't her, those were not her words. She said every word were the producer's words. So, and I've talked to someone else, and I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, a man on this season who has gone to great lengths to slice every little thing down to show the things that don't add up, that many things that he was said, told to say, how to, not only what to say, but like what to wear, how to wear the hair, everything. They go to great lengths to make a great story at the expense of, what possibly could have been a couple, in my opinion, staying together. But when you find out you've been deceived, obviously some things are unforgivable.